The views and opinions expressed on the Tom Trento Show are those of the host, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. Broadcasting to you on WNN 1470 AM and TrentoVision.tv from the underground command post deep in a hidden bunker in hostile territory. You're about to enter the Tom Trento Show.
All right. Hello, everybody. Once again on beautiful Monday, the 13th of May. And you know, I was remiss on Friday. And some of you reminded me, and I feel so bad. So a belated, wonderful Mother's Day. Is that AC off up there? A belated Mother's Day. There we go. A belated, nobody heard that. The white noise.
The white noise,
yeah.
right.
Belated Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there. All you mothers out there, I hope you had a wonderful day. And I wrote on my Facebook page that you guys are so amazing. Make sure your families did the dishes yesterday, okay? If that didn't happen, let them do the dishes all of this week because you guys deserve it. If it wasn't for mothers, there wouldn't be fathers or sons or whatever, but you guys are good guys. And we're kind of sandwiched between, on this 13th of May, another unique event in the history of the world and the history of the Bible. Tomorrow, May 14th, though it is not the official 65th anniversary in Israel, because they go by some crazy moon moon calendar. But May 14th, 1948, Israel was reborn. That's the way I like to look at it. It was born again. Israel was born again on May 14th, 1948. And tomorrow's the 65th anniversary of something that can only be understood as a miracle. And Ronnie Wexler, our good friend and our host on our Israel trip, will be with us tomorrow. We're going to talk a little bit about the trip and a little bit about Israel at 65 years old. Could retire. If Israel were living in America, could retire.
Social Security.
Yes, it could. But we got a lot of stuff going on this week. As you know, we were... Oh, look who's here with us, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give Jane Curtin here on Saturday Night Live. Let's give her a hand.
Abdul, you would like to welcome back the little Jew?
Welcome back, you little Jew.
He kept asking every day, where's the little Jew, the Jewess? Where is she?
Oh, my gosh. Do you know, I have relatives who watch this, so that is not a cool thing to do.
He's not a cool guy. He's a Sharia-compliant... what are you, Abdullah? Oh, you're Paki.
I am a Pakistani Taliban.
Okay, that's right.
Who just re-elected our Prime Minister again over the weekend.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Anybody kill anybody in that country?
Of course. We cannot go a weekend without death and destruction.
You can't go a day without it.
No, we cannot.
Well,
it is what we do. It is who we are. It is what we do.
Speaking of little Jews, over the weekend...
Oh, gosh. That's awful. You can't do that.
Listen, if the Palestinian Authority had advanced weapons like nuclear weapons, so says PA, Palestinian Authority official, Jabil Rajoub, we would destroy Israel. We would bomb Israel and destroy it.
Of course
and there'd
they
be
would.
no blowback.
Yeah, it's good.
So there'd be no little Jews running around. They actually say that.
That's really bad.
They want to blow up.
Knock it off with
Happy
the little
birthday,
Jews
Israel.
They want to blow. I mean, they announced that if they had weapons, they would destroy Israel.
Of course we would.
So, yeah, what a nice world. All right, so we got a lot of things going on today. As you know, Mark Campbell, where is he? Bring him to the forefront.
You can't.
I think. Oh, you
can't.
can't?
The little Jew stole my camera.
Oh, that's right. She's back. But where's our fourth camera? Should I make an appeal for funds?
We need to make an appeal for funds.
We need a fourth camera, folks.
If you would like to see Mark's big head, send money.
If you, his big brain, please send money. We need money for a fourth camera. Because right now we have this camera where the both of us are seen. Then we have the camera where CJ is seen by herself. If anybody's counting.
Yeah, we don't need that one.
If anybody's counting, that's camera number 2, or number 3, actually. See? There we go. You look right into that camera. Say hello. Welcome back.
Hello.
So many people.
Hello, little Jew.
So many people.
No, I'm not even kidding about that.
So
You really
many
got to
people.
not do that.
Yeah, her relatives are going to be upset.
she's
They
getting
don't
mad.
And you know
understand
what?
She's
That's
getting
really
mad.
offensive to Jewish people to hear that.
I don't
So-
find it offensive.
You're not
Jewish.
particularly Jewish.
I'm sure I
Jewish,
am.
He's Jewish.
Well, that's that guy. But what about the other guy?
That guy
Schmucky.
hate them. He does not care.
Yeah, and Schmucky. And then this camera right over here is the 3rd camera. Oh, look at all these different cameras. But we
So you
cannot
put me
see.
back on.
We cannot see Mark anymore. I don't understand that. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we
Because
need
he's busy having a lounge moment
Having a
while
lounge
he's
moment,
working.
right.
We need
which
a
he knows
little bit of help.
He's not supposed to be doing.
we need a little bit of help with
We need a lot of help.
finances. Go to TrentoVision.tv. And if you're
Please.
watching the show on TrentoVision.tv, we thank you. And right on the right-hand side, the little box says Donate Securely. All right.
And please do, because we are out of snacks in the bunker.
Yeah.
I can't leave for a day.
Look how skinny she is.
Yes.
Send falafel.
Yeah, we're out of all kinds of different foods here. So I'm going through my checklist. WNN 1470. Obviously, we're broadcasting on 1470 AM on the AM dial. WNN out of Boca Raton on the TV side, Internet TV. TrentoVision.tv. Be sure to watch Brian and Steve in the mornings, every single morning, 6 to 9. And if you were listening today on Monday the 13th, I was on at 8 o'clock for about a half hour and did a whole deal on Benghazi and Extortion 17, stuff we're going to deal with this week. If you want to see our archives, and you would want to see them, there's so much stuff
Yes,
there.
we've had requests for that of people not knowing how to, especially this past week's shows.
You know what we have to do? We have to put up the, if we can put this up somehow as a lower third. All of our TrentoVision shows can be seen at youtube.com/The United West, all one word. Our organization is The United West, a counterterrorism educational organization. youtube.com/The United West. Everything will say TrentoVision, and we'll have the date and the topic and an annotation of what the show is about. Don't miss it. Go to our archives, send them around. But we want to recognize also this weekend on Saturday, May 11th, a very good dear friend of ours and a true American patriot sent me a note, and he was very moved by the press conference that took place, National Press Club, 9 May last Thursday, that Larry Klayman, Billy Vaughn, Karen Vaughn, and everyone else put together. Mark and I presented the press conference to the world. And the thing has had, like, how many hits at this point? How many views, Mark?
20
A
million.
million?
20
Yeah.
million.
No, about 140 or 150.
About 145,000.
Yeah, that's a 3-hour show. 145,000 people.
That's
Extrapolate
serious.
from there.
That
That's
is serious.
serious
Huge
stuff.
amount.
Yeah.
So I got a ton. I mean, I was busy all day Saturday answering very positive emails, but one in particular from our friend Mort Cuff. If you can put Mort up on the screen. Mort just
I miss Mort.
thanked all of us here. There's Mort right there.
Oh, isn't he adorable?
Yeah, he thanked all of us for our work, our dedication, and a very passionate and sensitive way in which he writes. He's a great writer.
Talented man.
He
and
thanked
much
us.
cuter in person,
Yes,
too.
he thanked us for the work, and it was a special weekend for him because Saturday the 11th was the 65th anniversary of Mort's honorable discharge from the United States Navy in World War II.
Wow.
So he was. It's always a special day for him. He raises the flag every day and salutes it, but he did it with a little more vim and vigor, and particularly in light of the press conference he saw that day. Mort, our hat is off to you. You are a true American patriot, and we thank you for
Yes,
it.
he does.
Mort Cuff.
How come
Yeah,
Mort
great
doesn't
American
visit
patriot,
us?
actually.
He
Is
will.
he afraid?
We just gotta, we gotta get the perimeter, get all the guards away from the perimeter of the bunker, and start letting people in. We can do that. All right. Right now, I'm going to tell you about the today's show and the show for the week. We are going to review what the heck happened last week in Washington, D.C. We have a ton of video, ton of photographs. Mark and I went up there. The guys kept the fort going here, the bunker going. We went on Wednesday. We told you this Friday. We went to the Rayburn building, to the hearing, the Benghazi hearing led by Congressman Darrell Issa out of Southern California. And we sat in there, and thank you, all of our friends that sent us all the photos from C-SPAN. And you're pointing to Mark and me. You can see us in the back, like, where's Waldo? But we sat through 7 hours of that hearing. And if you remember, Extortion 17 happened 2 years, essentially, 18 months before Benghazi. So before Benghazi was Extortion 17, but in Washington, after Benghazi hearing on the 8th was the press conference of Extortion 17.
Yeah, what took so long?
Well, we're going to go through that. We're going to slowly go through some key videos today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. As I said, tomorrow we'll do a little section, 10, 15 minutes on Israel's 65th anniversary of its rebirth. But we're going to show you in the next couple of days General Tom McInerney and his view on the dereliction of duty at the top. Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, our former congressman, dereliction of duty on the ground. Diana West, Louis Gohmert, General Boykin, Billy Vaughn, Karen Vaughn. Thursday, looks like Thursday, Billy Vaughn and Karen Vaughn, parents of killed SEAL Team 6 warrior Aaron Vaughn, will be here in studio right here to wrap up what's been an amazing couple of weeks. And then Friday is Action Day. All this crazy stuff that's going on, what are we going to do about it? We're going to give you specifics so that you can impact this administration, which is teetering on the point of being treasonous on many of these issues. So now
I don't think it's teetering. I think it's right out there.
I think it crossed that line big time.
Yeah.
It's a serious doctrine, the doctrine and the federal law of treason. So there's like steps before it: misprision of treason, dereliction of duty. And these are impeachable offenses also. So
seems more like a catapult than a seesaw.
Yeah, it's bad. But what we're doing, we're teaching this week with a little bit of entertainment because we make jihad fun, okay? You know that, we know that, the bad guys know that, and they hate it when we make it fun.
They hate it when we have a good time
They hate
skewering
it,
them.
absolutely. But you know what? At 14 minutes past 5 o'clock on the first day of the week, 13th day of the month of May, a great month. What's the first part of month? I know the second part is Gemini. What's the first part of May? And the astrological thing.
Okay, when you said there would be questions, I had no idea it was going to be
Taurus?
about the
Is it Taurus?
zodiac.
Oh, your birthday's May 11th, so okay, that's Taurus, then Gemini. Hi, all you Tauruses and Geminis. I don't believe in any of that crap, but that's okay. Nevertheless, we're doing a 5-part briefing on our experiences, our information, a lot of it inside. Last week in Washington, D.C., bringing it to you in South Florida, pumping it out all over the world. And essentially, what we have found and what we're talking about is the Obama administration's failures in prosecuting the GWOT. What does that mean, kiddies? GWOT. The what?
The Global War on Terror.
Global War on Terror. The acronym for that is GWOT. President Obama has a particular military view as to how to prosecute the global war on terror. Our findings through Benghazi, through extortion, and through all our national security work is that this administration has failed miserably in prosecuting the global war on terror. In fact, they are more concerned about the United States of Obama than the United States of America. And remember when President Obama was running for office. He wanted to remake America in a particular way and bring back a new day and hope and change. Well, we have a pretty good idea, folks, of what the United States of Obama looks like right now. And this whole terror thing and all these bad guys blowing stuff up has gotten in the way of the United States of Obama. Let me take a minute, ask you guys, the TrentoVision team right here, what are some of the primary purposes, points, objectives, lifestyles within the United States of Obama? What do you think?
Hearts and minds.
No, not the war on terror. Forget about that.
Oh, you talk about him?
Redistribution of wealth.
Redistribution of wealth is at the top of the United States of Obama.
That's like number one priority.
That's how you fund it, okay?
Complete destruction of Judeo-Christian values.
Completely destroyed. Judeo-Christian
like
stuff
annihilated.
stands in the way of what? What does the Judeo-Christian worldview stand in the way of? That his daughters kind of told him really he came to an
Homosexuality and gay marriage.
He wants
gay marriage, abortion.
He wants no sexual distinctions. Just everything is.
He wants to neuter the country.
Oh, by the way, yesterday was the last Mother's Day we're going to have it. They're all going to be Parents' Days now.
Well, the federal government in loan applications for students has now taken out the lines that say mother and father. They now have, starting right now, today was the first day, parent 1 and parent 2.
Right, that's
That is
That's
an
like
indication.
thing 1 and thing 2 from Dr. Seuss.
Well, I'm going to have to say, though, too, that, I think that it's more about worshiping.
Oh, we have you,
look,
Mark.
there
we
you
can
are.
see you.
Yeah,
We can see you now, so don't have a lounge moment.
No, it's about worshiping Obama. It's about making him. How can I get close to him? How can I get next to him? How can I get? And so all the generals, all the command staff, all the people, as far as the global war on terror is, how do I advance my position to get more recognition so I can move up in the ranks? And it has nothing to do with the troops on the ground. That's the theme that we heard from all the generals.
That's a great point. When you have Obama creating the United States of Obama, then you have these general officers, or in the Navy, the flag officers, and they want to advance themselves. Where's their commitment going to be? To the United States of America, you would think. But you'll hear our guys in the press conference saying they've abandoned their commitment to the United States of America.
Absolutely.
So we're
They're
profiting
committed to themselves.
We're profiting a new concept, folks, the United States of Obama. And you know what? When we get that term out and people start thinking about that, I bet you a good portion of America
The USO.
will love it.
They're afraid
United
to.
States of Obama.
USO.
They're afraid to not to disobey the commander in chief, and whatever the commander in chief says, and that's what's different between officers and enlisted. Officers swear their loyalty, and if you look at the loyalty oath, they swear their oath to the Constitution, whereas enlisted personnel swear their oath to the president and the Constitution.
Right.
So
So it's a minor distinction, but it's a huge distinction, because that is the point. The command general flag officers are not beholding to the commander in chief. They're beholding to what? The Constitution.
U.S. Constitution, which is getting shredded. All right, we got to move on.
it's like he wants to create a one world order.
Oh,
where
it's
the
it's
whole
absolutely
world
a
is
one
the
world
same,
order.
and he wants to be the emperor of it.
And these bad guys that don't like his viewpoint, whom he is in bed with, are kind of disturbing his deal. And you can see that there was a press conference earlier today where he was with the Prime Minister of Britain, and he was asked the question on Benghazi, and he was pissed. President Obama's pissed.
Oh, yeah,
And
he
he
was
summed it
definitely
up. He summed it up in just these short words.
Try it again.
He summed it up. He
Dan,
summed it up.
Replay.
He summed it
With
up.
respect to Benghazi, there's no there there.
All right, let's try it again. He summed it up.
With respect to Benghazi.
No. In these short words, that's the cue. He summed it up. That's a pregnant pause. He summed
have
it up.
missed you,
Dramatic pause.
guys.
He summed it up in these short words.
With respect to Benghazi, there's no there there.
What the hell is that? With respect to Benghazi, there's no there. Well, see,
Yeah.
this is the
I mean,
ideological. Hang
this
on.
is- Ooh.
This is the ideological anomaly that's part of the United States of Obama. It's an ideological anomaly, and we've entitled it Let Them Die.
Yeah.
Because part of his ideology, the anomaly end, necessitates people dying, whether it's Extortion 17 and a bad mission from the beginning, or whether it's Benghazi, and you don't want to send the troops to help anybody because it's going to ruin your 56-day political calculus narrative. Let them die. They're ideological anomalies. We are here, folks, to bust that thing wide open and drive you to action on Friday. So, Let Them Die is the title of our five-part series this week. We're going to start out by looking at them dead, okay? You're gonna see the dead SEAL Team 6 coffins in Bagram Air Force Base, end of August 2011, and you're gonna hear the imam praying a prayer that has been translated and interpreted as a curse over the American soldiers. Listen to this. Are we ready for it? Watch this.
Souls of the departed into your loving care. Amen.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Now we need to do a translation on this for the radio listening audience.
Amen. I shelter in Allah from the devil who has been cast with stones. In the name of Allah, the merciful forgiver, the companions of the fire, the sinners and infidels who are fodder for hellfire, are not equal with the companions of heaven.
Who are the Muslims,
How
obviously.
disgusting.
Yeah, the companions of heaven, the Muslims, who are, now there were 30 American caskets and 8 Afghani caskets, and the Imam is saying the companions of heaven, the Muslims, are the winners. See all these dead bodies here? And this message was sent, obviously, around the world. It continues. Go ahead, CJ.
Had we sent this Quran to a mountain, you would have seen the mountain prostrated in fear of Allah. Ugh. I can't even believe I'm reading this, let alone saying it.
Yeah. Okay,
All right.
just keep going with, but and it goes on and on and on.
It goes on
with you know, some very disgusting. You know, it just you just become sick when you realize where this was being said. It was being said over the bodies of SEAL Team 6 who died in a helicopter crash just months earlier, with Joe Biden standing over top of them.
No, it's
Yeah, so-
no. Actually, it's not a crash.
Well, I'm
It's-
sorry, not the crash. But,
Yeah.
but I misspoke.
Yeah.
There was a
Shot
It's
down.
it was
not
shot
like
down.
it was an accident and they fell down out of the sky.
Right.
All right, now let
Exactly
me
right.
keep this thing on track here because we have quite a bit to
I'm
get
sorry,
through.
but
That's okay.
it just I
I know, it's
get
frustrating.
So
I know.
angry
We only have
every
an hour.
time
well,
I
here's the
see
rest
that.
of the. Here's the rest of it. Go
Oh,
ahead,
you have the
Doug.
rest of it.
Yeah.
Okay, get you can finish reading it.
Yeah, and it's infidels who are with.
The sinners and infidels who are fodder for hellfire.
Yeah.
Is this?
Yeah, it's plain.
I read this already.
Yeah, keep going.
Are not equal with the companions of heaven.
Right.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah. The companions of heaven, the Muslims, are the winners.
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 For the listening audience, we're looking at a video. Go ahead, you can read that.
Had we sent this Quran to a mountain, you would have seen the mountain prostrated in fear of Allah, mocking the God of Moses. Such examples are what we present to the people, so that they would think, repent, and convert to Islam. Blessings are to your God, Allah, the God of glory, of what they describe. And peace be upon the messengers, the prophets, and thanks be to Allah, the Lord of both universes, mankind and jinn.
Yeah, we're watching a video of the ramp ceremony of the flag draped coffins
Need a bath
of the
now.
SEAL Team 6 and the support staff. 30 Americans, 17 SEAL Team 6 top tier operators, largest loss of life ever in special naval warfare. And so the 17 SEALs, then there were 13 support staff, including Army, National Guard, others, for 30 Americans, and then there were 8 Afghanis on there. And as we get into the week, we're going to explain to you that the 8 Afghanis, 7 of them were commandos, 1 was an interpreter. But we're going to explain to you, and this is why we are taking the Obama administration to task, that at the last minute, the 8 Afghanis who were supposed to go on were switched with 8 Afghanis who were not vetted. They were not checked out.
At the last second.
At the last second, when the planes were loading, 8 different people came on.
I don't think that's a coincidence.
And there's a theory being raised by the Vaughns and others in the press conference last week that since Joe Biden announced that SEAL Team 6 had killed bin Laden on 4 May, they shot and killed him on 1 May 2011. On 4 May, bin Laden, half loaded, are some reports, bragged to an audience in a tuxedo that our SEAL Team 6 guys got him. And at that point, he broke the unwritten rule, the written rule of special secretive security, operational security concerns. He broke it by telling who it was, and immediately the SEAL Team 6 folks called their loved ones and said, distance yourself from me in any way, shape, or form. They weren't worried about getting hurt, obviously. But now Al-Qaeda can come to the United States and track somebody who's the parent of a SEAL and go kill them and kill everybody else in the family.
Well, and the horrible thing about that, with the Joe Biden story, was the day before, everybody inside the room who understood it was SEAL Team 6 was told, do not release the name of the SEAL Team 6 because it's going to put families in danger. Everybody was sworn to that. And all of a sudden, Biden just blurts it out the next day for whatever reason. Did he do that on purpose? Or was he just half drunk? We don't know.
He's just Uncle Joe.
You know, if there is an impeachment, which many people beside Governor Huckabee are talking about, I mean, many people in Washington are starting to float this idea. Mm-hmm. And you know, if the Senate confirms it, which at this point it wouldn't, but if there was a new Senate in 2014,
well, an impeachment,
look who the president's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, my God, President Joey.
Well, he's going to go down. If President Obama goes down, he's going down too.
That's the Speaker of the House, so we got Boehner as the president.
Yeah, you know, the administration had the movie producers in very shortly after Biden let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah, for our audience at, what is it, at 5:28 in the afternoon on Monday, May 13th. What we're doing, Tom Trento here, CJ's back. We got the whole crew here today. We are doing a 5-part series entitled Let Them Die. That's the view of the Obama administration as they're trying to create the United States of Obama, a redistributed country where the producers and the earners redistribute their money to provide sustenance, comfort, medical care, all of that to those who are less fortunate. So there's equities now in an inequitable world, as Obama understood. In light of those efforts by the president to remake America, he is bothered by the global war on terror. So his handling or mishandling of the global war on terror is resulting in ideological anomalies of tremendous warriors and tremendous civil servants, diplomats and others, being killed on the job because the administration is tying their hands behind their back, literally. They're not allowing them to fight the fight to defeat and kill the enemy. We're going to lay all of that out this week, Giga.
Yeah, a couple of things. First of all, he's ideologically in sync with the Muslim Brotherhood. So it's not just that the war on terror is inconvenient for him. It's that he actually sides ideologically with the enemy of the people of the United States and the Constitution, okay?
President Obama, do this, do
Okay.
this. That's
And then
what
the other point is the United States of Obama, can it still be a country if there's open borders? If there's no borders and the country is open for everybody, which is another one of their goals, then are you still a country?
Yeah, good. Yeah, these are good questions that we are raising. And what we're going to show you right
Coming
now.
from a Canadian, no less.
What we're going to show you now, right now. Yes, we have all types here. We're going to show you right now. Let me see what our time situation
We
is.
need to go. And it's not us saying it; it's the general saying it, Tom. This is this is not, let them die. It aren't our words. These are words that are being brought up by General McInerney, who's going to be on our next clip.
Yep.
And this is just horrible, And once we get our next clip going here, we'll show that. And we have General McInerney queued up right now, Tom.
Okay, yeah, let's get General
Yeah,
McInerney.
that was a hint, a clue.
Well, he was. General McInerney is a Fox analyst. He's been an analyst on. I just want to get a little background on him. He's been an analyst on many, many shows. Retired United States Air Force Lieutenant General.
That's a 3-star general for all you don't know.
He is a command pilot with more than 4,100 flying hours, including 407 combat missions. 407 combat missions. Forward air controller during the Vietnam War. He has done it all. He is 76 years old. Does he look 76?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Man.
No.
Let's see. He flew, fighter jets. He flew everything. Fought, raised to the ranks of general, and he's an expert, obviously, on.
Now, also, he was
policy.
wasn't McInerney the assistant to the Joint Chiefs of Staff? I remember going through his bio, and he was an assistant to the Joint Chiefs of Staff. So he's way up there. As a 3-star general, he's way up there.
Yeah, I'm sure. Once the guys get like that, particularly guys coming out of Vietnam, we can check more in his background. Suffice to say, the dude knows his stuff.
He's
okay?
not a slouch.
He knows his stuff. Listen very carefully. We're gonna walk through his 4 or 5 minute presentation. He says some indicting information he presents.
This nation doesn't go to war and put handcuffs on our people. And we have put handcuffs on our people. And Jerry, absolutely right. How many generals are standing up? We have a complicity that has been on a slide from when Secretary Gates started firing generals because they were not doing what he politically wanted, which was to come forth with the rules of engagement and the different things that have got us trapped in this strategy. And of course, that's why President Obama kept him. And we now have very senior people with going from this tragedy that you're listening to today that I was not familiar in great detail to where we are in Benghazi. A complicity not to go and rescue our people. And you saw it yesterday. From the very words of the person that was there, Ambassador Stevens to his DCM Hicks, we're under attack. And yet the next day, the day after, you have the Secretary of State and the President saying it was due to a video. Now that is complicity. And how about you now have 2 chairmen of the Joint Chiefs of Staff that have been complicit in that cover-up, one who did a report and the former chairman. You now have 2 CIA directors
Hold that for a
who are
second.
complicit in it,
All right, now
2 secretaries of the state that are.
Now he's naming names.
Well, hold. I just want to re-highlight this point, Tom, because this is huge. This is huge. He's saying that the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff is involved, the one who did it, and the one who's trying to cover up now, too. Yeah. He's saying the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
The first one was Mike
Mullen.
Mike Mullen.
Mike Mullen, who's Admiral Mike Mullen.
He was, the Joint Chiefs of Staff for our audience, our listening and viewing audience. You have, in the Pentagon, you have all the branches of service. They have one of the top officers, a general or an admiral. meet there every day, and then you have one guy over all of them controlling all of the United States military. He's the top military individual, and then he serves on. He liaises with the CIA, with the DOD, with the White House, with the NCS, all the different organizations. It don't get much higher than that. In fact, Admiral McRaven, who is the head of SEALs, SEAL Team 6, he wants to be. It came out in the meeting in Washington the other day. He wants to be the Joint Chief. Colin Powell was the Joint Chiefs, for those of you out there trying to get a handle on what this is. We had a Joint Chief, Mike Mullen, from George Bush's days, 2004 or so, through September 30th, 2011. So the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mike Mullen, he oversaw the military during Benghazi, which was September 11th, 2011. Then the next Joint Chiefs... 2011. Benghazi. Mike Mullen...
was 2012.
I'm talking about
Extortion
17. Yeah. He went until September 30th, 2011. October 1st, General Dempsey takes over for Extortion 17 as Joint Chiefs. October 1st, 2011. All right, those are the two members, the Joint Chiefs. There's Mullen right there. And you got a picture of Dempsey by any chance?
Yeah. Switch screen.
There's General Dempsey. Hi. Mullen was an admiral, I believe. Mm-hmm. And Dempsey's a general. All right, now go back, because he then says General McInerney, yeah, that's Dempsey. That's the current Joint Chiefs of Staff right now. And he is the one who is covering for, according to McInerney, General McInerney, Hillary and President Obama. Just go back a couple of frames, couple of seconds, and let's hear McInerney again.
The former chairman. You now have two CIA directors. Who
go back a little further.
Two secretaries.
He is indicting the two. This is a general indicting generals and an admiral. Go ahead.
Now that is complicity. And how about you now have two chairmen of the Joint Chiefs of Staff that have been complicit in that cover-up.
Complicit in that cover-up.
Now, there's only one person higher in the military than
you now have two.
There's only one person higher in the military as far as chain of command, and that is the President of the United States.
President of the United States.
These are the top military. You can't go any higher in the military than the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
So what we are bringing back to you folks on TrentoVision.tv and WNN 1470 on the AM dial on May 13th at 5:38 in the afternoon. We're bringing back to you right now really breaking news. And this was in this video, and it's going virally all over the place. General Thomas McInerney, who flew over 400 combat missions, he is implicating the current and then the one previous, Mullen and Dempsey, as covering up Extortion 17. Then he goes on and implicates two what? What's next?
Two chairmen of the Joint Chiefs of Staff that have been complicit in that cover-up. One who did a report, and
Dempsey did the ARB report.
You now have two
Mullen did.
CIA directors who are complicit in it.
Two
secretaries of the state that are complicit.
Two CIA directors. Who are they?
Never
Brennan.
in the history of this
Pause it.
public.
All right, so two CIA directors are complicit. Who are they?
Brennan and
Brennan and
Petraeus.
Pennetta.
Or Pennetta.
Pennetta.
Brennan and Pennetta.
No, CIA directors. No,
Petraeus and
Brennan.
Petraeus and Brennan. Two DOD, who are the two DOD guys, Department of Defense. That's
Hagel
Pennetta.
and Pennetta.
And Hagel now. And then he says something else. Oh, Secretaries of State.
Yeah, right.
Clinton and John Kerry right now. Right. They're all covering up what took place with Extortion 17. This isn't CJ or Mark or Dave or Damon or me or Mike or anybody saying this, though we are saying it. This is the general right there. Let's listen to the rest
Do you
of
know
what he
how
says.
bad it is?
This is
for these
bad.
guys
mean-
to-
I mean,
these
this is
guys
like-
to out each other in public like this. I mean,
Hold
that's
on.
just not done.
This
He just
is-
hold on. He just didn't do it. Let me explain the setting here.
Go ahead.
He didn't just out them at sitting around a round table and he just kind of misspoke and he just kind of like had one too many drinks. If you look right under where he's standing, he's doing it intentionally at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. He's making a significant point, along with Admiral Ace Lyons, Lieutenant General Jerry Boykin, and someone else.
Paul Valley, General Paul Valley.
General Paul Valley. We have 4 flag officers. 4 flag officers, senior flag officers, 3-star and above. One was the Admiral of the Pacific Fleet. The Pacific Fleet is the largest military in the world.
No, this is.
I trust
extreme.
Obama over these guys.
This is the stuff in spy movies where people disappear and people go over here.
People
and
have been disappearing over
Yeah,
this.
I know,
They
I know.
disappear down the
Can we
rabbit
say
hole.
SEAL
There's a
Team
gag
6?
order on them.
Can we say SEAL Team 6, how they disappeared?
But it's also the stuff, not only in movies, in real life, that take administrations down. When the momentum starts developing, as we sense it is developing, and Obama gets mad in these press conferences when he's talking about Benghazi, now's the time to pour around the extortion 17 stuff. All right, let's listen to the rest of McInerney. We're not going to do the next one because
Former
we're going to save
chairman,
that to tomorrow.
You now have 2 CIA directors who are complicit in it, 2 secretaries of the state that are complicit in the cover-up, and 2 secretaries of defense. Never in the history of this republic have we seen this corruption and complicity, and as Admiral Lyons said, this dereliction of duty.
That's key what he says about dereliction of duty.
Dereliction of duty.
Yes, that's the key term we're going to be using.
This nation deserves more, and I put out the charge to every general and flag officer on active duty today. We didn't bring you up to live this way. This isn't being responsive to civilian leadership if it's complicit to cover-ups.
Oh, man.
This is
That
Dad
is
taking him to the
serious.
Woodhouse right there. I'm telling you.
Yep.
What he just said right there, I tell you what, my father was in the Army for 30 years. I was a full-bore colonel. And I've hung around generals for pretty much most of my life. And you just do not say this about another general officer. You do not say this. And to publicly come out and chastise him, because this guy right here probably trained a lot of these flag officers that he's talking about. This is Dad taking him out to the woodshed and saying, Sonny, you better get your act straight.
He's not just chastising them, he's accusing them of treason.
That's right. This is like
that's a
Dad
big
turning on their
difference.
sons. This is so bad that Dad has turned on his son and said, put him in jail. He is murdering people, our boys. That is what he's saying.
Now, before General Petraeus fell from grace, or fell from, what was her name?
Paula Broadstone.
Paula, fell from Paula. He was hailed as, the next messiah for the United States
Right.
of America in many, many respects. Military leader, brilliant strategist, academic, intellectual.
The one that Democrats call General Petraeus?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a whole chest of bling, and one of those blings is a Purple Heart, and he got the Purple Heart in shooting himself, I think it was, or somebody else shot him in a training thing. He was placed into some combat roles in Iraq in order to get a combat ribbon. He basically was an academic. He was a general who made it through life as an academic. Tom McInerney flew 400 combat missions.
Right.
Every one you go out on, you can get shot down and get killed. So, he may not have the star power name as General Petraeus, but he's got the gravitas in terms of the military strength and capability and what he's achieved. And he's telling
Yeah,
us
when he
these
walks in
little
the
boys.
room, people pop up and salute him.
Yep.
And that's for sure. And it's just it totally blows me away that this is happening. Now, I can actually understand Obama doing the cover-up and doing whatever he
Yeah,
does.
because he's purely political.
He's Obama.
United
all right?
States
Yeah.
of Obama.
I
That's
can-
what he's worried
I can
about.
understand Kerry and Hillary doing what they're doing because it's political, right? But when you have general officers
No, this is bad.
compliance with this thing, what the heck is going on? Not just one general officer. We're having a whole slew of them. From Petraeus, his command structure down. From Mullins, his command structure down. This is beyond bad.
Hey, Imam Abdullah, do you
Yes.
guys on your side, you have these problems too?
This is not a problem. We love these kind of officers. I wish every one of them was like Petraeus or.
Yeah, but right now you have in...
We don't have such problems.
No. In Syria, you have your two sides of the Islamic world, the Shia and the Sunni.
Yes.
They're just kind of negotiating around the peace table to try to see how to come to a nice resolution.
Peace table, he says. That's so funny.
They're slicing each other's throats.
Yes, that is the Shias and the Sunnis.
only when
Or
they
the
can't get
Alawite,
their hands on
the Alawite,
chemical
which is
weapons.
heretic anyway.
So isn't that a problem?
It is not problem. As long as the Sunnis win, it is not problem.
Okay. All right. Well, our generals have a little problem right now, and that's what we're doing. We're calling out those who have sworn allegiance, whether overtly, covertly, or politically, to the United States of Obama, need to be held accountable for that. And Billy Vaughan's been on Fox for the past 3 or 4 days, and he says, he looks at the camera, President Obama, you got to be a man. You got to stand up and answer some of these questions. Who authorized the imam to pray over the SEALs? The SEALs didn't want that, but let's finish with General McInerney, and then we're going to sum this up, and we'll tell you what we're going to do tomorrow.
You are violating the Constitution of the United States, and we expect more out of you, and these families deserve more. They have given their youth to this nation, and the nation deserves more. Thank you, and God bless you for what you do.
He just said to Admiral Mullen, the Joint Chief Chairman during Extortion 17, to General Dempsey, to General Petraeus, to Pennetta, to Hagel, Chuck Hagel, to Hillary, to who else was in there? CIA, DOD.
How about Susan Rice?
But he just told all those people, all this leadership, you are violating the Constitution of the United States of America. He made that as clear as could be. And let's take a minute. What do you think is going on? I mean,
this is spy novel stuff, Tom. I mean, this is like crazy stuff, you know?
we know, because they were standing right next to us, we know there were people from the Pentagon recording and watching everything that was going on in this press conference. We saw the guys, and they were pointed out to us. But CJ or one of you guys, we broadcast it live, so anybody could watch it. Thousands were watching it. This press conference on May 9. Fox broadcast it for a little while. When the folks in the Pentagon, who were the aide-de-camps and the assistants to all these leaders that he just nailed, when they run back and go, uh-oh, McInerney's nailing you, what do you think Petraeus said? What do you think Pennetta said? What do you think Hillary said?
I tell you what, the deals are being made right now.
What do you mean?
I think they have no fear that any of this is going to stick, because this is like super Teflon, this administration, and this is not the Nixon White House that we're talking about, where you have an ultra-liberal media who's looking to take the president down. This is an ultra-liberal media protecting an ultra-liberal administration, and there's absolutely no way that this story is going to get enough traction from anybody but us.
Oh, disagree.
Pretty much.
I disagree. I'll tell you who the fly in the soup could be Petraeus, because of the way he was forced out.
Well, let's, before you
He's
go there.
got his job in academia now. He
He might be looking to restore his honor.
But let's look at the point of in the Nixon White House in the 70s. They wanted to nail the president. Right now, this White House wants to protect the president because they've sworn allegiance to the United States of Obama.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
Yeah.
I think it's starting to turn. I've noticed a definite. I'll tell you, since the Boston bombings, it really seems that the mainstream media is starting to open their eyes a little bit, and really starting to not really do their jobs fully, obviously, but starting to actually act a little bit like journalists instead of patsies for the president.
Oh, you know what? They come every couple of years. Some story comes along, and journalists almost act like journalists for about a day and a half. And people like us, not me, but people like the rest of you, get all excited and say, you know what? It's going to turn around. They're going to get it. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. Forget it. Not happening. You cannot completely shatter everybody's worldview and expect them to regroup and do what they're supposed to do. It's not going to happen. Ultimately, you bang your head against their worldview and they shut down.
I bang my head against my prayer rug.
I know, you got those cute bumps on your forehead. So
we
I just
may-
don't see that
no, you
happening,
may-
I think the American people are so shell-shocked
Well,
and
if you remember,
numbed by what's happening to this country that there's only so much they can keep up with on a daily
Well,
basis of
and then
the
they go nuts.
outrage
You have to watch-
that they are not going to raise their pitchforks.
Well, Well, I tell you
don't think
what,
so. You're living in Twinkle
if
City.
the America
you think
doesn't,
so.
if the radio doesn't, I mean, if the media doesn't do it, and we don't do it on the radio,
Oh, we're doing it.
but what's that? And we don't somehow doesn't get the word out there enough to make effective change. I tell you what, it's going to come down to one day where Bubba does it, and then it's going to be an all-out war in the United States. I'm just telling you.
What you mean by when Bubba does it?
all right. Well, here's a little good news on the media side. If you remember back in the 60s, 70s, even 80s, the appeal and the whole 60s sexual revolution and the 70s, freaking out and all of that. Yeah, go to school, get high, go to school, and become a journalist, right? Or get involved in the soft sciences. Change the world. Go to college, change the world, get involved in politics, and look at all the weathermen that have blown things up now that are
Your terrorists should get promoted.
Yeah, they're either running for office somewhere, or either school board or upper offices, or they're in journalism, or they're in academia. So now we have 20 to 25 years of the insinuation of leftist ideology, which is the North Pole to the United States of Obama's South Pole. So they just lock together, and now when the Obama's South Pole is coming under attack, the North Pole, which is the leftist ideological or ideologues, whether they're teachers or journalists, can't separate themselves as much as they may want to. And look at some of these developments. Look at this right here. If you can zoom in on this, Dave.
Oh, that is so cute.
Or maybe this camera here. Where you want me to go? That one right there. Okay. That one right there. Okay. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. This is great news for you to open a bottle of wine tonight and just think about this. As he zooms in, ABC News, American Broadcasting Company, the news division, the president is a guy by the name of Ben Sherwood. He has a sister, Lizzie. See Lizzie over here? Dr. Elizabeth Sherwood Randall. She is the special assistant to this guy. Who's this guy? Anybody read that? What's it say? Prez.
It's Obama-ness.
Yep. At ABC News, the president's sister, the president of ABC News, his sister, Dr. Elizabeth Sherwood Randall, is the special assistant to the president of the United States of America. Where do you think?
Well, maybe they have a lot of sibling rivalry, and
right.
and there's no influence
the
exchange
video
back
ready.
and forth.
All right, now hang on. Let's go to CBS News. David Rhodes, the president of CBS News, has a brother we've all heard about.
Ben Rhodes.
Ben
Ben
Rhodes.
Rhodes, who is the what to who?
Speech writer and deputy
Benghazi expert.
He is
security advisor, I believe.
He is the President Obama's main guy on national security and on Benghazi. He wrote the speech. Ben Rhodes, brother of David Rhodes, president of CBS News, wrote the Cairo speech that Prez gave 9 June 2009. Remember that?
Yeah.
Right.
Let's go to CNN. CNN, Virginia Mosley, who is the deputy, what does that say on my
Deputy Bureau Chief.
Deputy Bureau Chief. She's in love with a guy by the name of Tom Nides. And there's Tommy and Ginny.
Sitting in a tree.
They got married. And
Tom
happens to be the deputy to whom?
Oh.
That's not the president. That may be the next.
Oh, that looks like Hillary.
That's the
Hillary,
next
look
president.
at that.
It looks just
it
like
looks
her.
like her. That's really
You're
well
very
done.
artistic, Tom. You're very artistic.
Watch this little video.
Are you really Michael's father?
Watch the video.
Watch
the video. Play.
I think the media is becoming the story. Let's face it. CBS News president David Rhodes and ABC News president Ben Sherwood, both of them have siblings that not only work at the White House, that not only work for President Obama, but they work at the NSC on foreign policy issues directly related to Benghazi. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's also show you why CNN did not go very far in covering these hearings, because the CNN Deputy Bureau Chief, Virginia Mosley, is married to Hillary Clinton's deputy, Tom Nides. It is time for the media to start asking questions. Why are they not covering this? It's a family matter for some of them.
So they don't want to bring embarrassment upon folks who they're close to.
Who directly are related to this story. Absolutely. They're covering for them. There's no question about it.
Yikes.
This is bad. Thank God in heaven for the new media.
FYI, it's just going Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're going to show you how it's even worse than that.
It's going to get worse, folks. We got just a couple of minutes left in today's show on the 13th of May. Just almost 6 o'clock. We're getting to the end of the TrentoVision show, TrentoVision.tv. On the AM side, 1470 WNN. But tomorrow we're going to show you little video segments of Diana West, who's one of our regulars here, General Jerry Boykin, Admiral Ace Lyons, General Paul Vallely, and we're going to establish our case against the United States of Obama to show that this administration, and it is so ideologically driven, that it's letting them die. And I don't know about you, but none of us here on TrentoVision.
Hold on a second. Oh, so Tom, we have a message from our president, just to let you know.
With respect to Benghazi, there's no there.
Okay, I got 20 seconds to close this. I don't know about you folks. I think I do. If you're watching this show or listening to our show, you're with us. We ain't going to stand by while this administration lets people die. So stand with us. Tune in. Tell your friends about this. We will see you tomorrow, and we will continue with this. So help me God.